Welcome to BSR Live. I'm Zach Will from BaltimoreSportsReport.com, joined by Jabby Burns. Jab, what's up?
Hello, Zach. Hello, sports fans, and hello, people trying to make money this year. I am back. We had a really good year last year, Zach, in this first inaugural season of Jab's Winning Nuggets. Close to 83% on the Survivor side and 53% ATS, which anytime you're over 50%, it's real good.
Well, Jab, Star Wars A New Hope is a fantastic movie.
Yes.
But Empire Strikes Back is my favorite. So you're back for the sequel.
Yeah.
You got a lot to live up to, but a kick-ass year for you last year. So.
Well, I enjoyed it a lot, and any way I can help the people out there make some extra scratch for their fun money, I'm here to help.
All right, let's start with your Survivor selections. And week one, I feel like, is always tough because we don't really know a ton about these teams yet. We're just basing all of this on what we've seen in the preseason. So you're giving us 3 Survivor picks. Let's start with your first one.
All right, so the first one I want to kind of get out there is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I know everybody in Charm City is going to lose their mind, but remember, this is just a team to win week one. They're not playing the Ravens, nothing of that nature. But the Steelers are a 6.5-point favorite, which they're screaming at you to take the Steelers, which usually I don't like doing. Vegas is saying it's less than a touchdown, got to take them. But they're playing the Browns. They're playing at home. Mike Tomlin, in my opinion, is on the hot seat. They've had a struggle last year. This defense isn't your steel curtain defense. They're going to be led offensively. And you know who's not good offensively? It's the Cleveland Browns. Johnny Manziel's not playing. Brian Hoyer's in there. He's a legend, allegedly. So he's going to be in there. They have no Josh Gordon. Even though Terrence West is in the backfield, that's not going to help that much because the Steelers can stop the run. That's the one thing they can do. I like the Steelers a lot in this game to not only win, but cover that 6.5. Some nuggets in that game is you got the Browns. The last 10 games they have played in Pittsburgh, they're 3-7-1 ATS. That's against the spread. But just imagine what the games are. They're not very good there. And the Browns are 1-8 in their last 9 season openers. So go ahead and take your Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, now if you're a Ravens fan like me, or maybe for whatever reason we're not buying into your wisdom yet, but if you're a Ravens fan and you're like, I can't be taking the Steelers here in week one, I can't support them. Who's your second pick?
Well, I like this one almost as much as I like the Pittsburgh call. Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears, you think defense, right? We were in Chicago, Zach, this past year. It's kind of a great city, great sports city. Defense, the Cubs, the Murphys.
Cubs go.
Go
Cubs go.
But this time, the Chicago Bears, if it's a big if, but if Jay Cutler can stay upright, this team could lead the NFC in offense. And I know that there's some Green Bay Packer teams out there and some other Saints teams and things like that, but the Chicago Bears have Brandon Marshall on one side, Alshon Jeffrey, breakout guy from South Carolina, on the other side, Matt Forte, an outstanding running back. And if Cutler, like I said, can stay upright, they're going to be able to score a lot of points. And guess who comes to town in their first home opener in Soldier Field, which looks amazing when we were out there. Great-looking stadium. It's the Buffalo Bills. And I say that because the Bills feel like if you can ask for a cherry-picked opponent, can you ask for a bigger cherry-picked opponent than the Bills? I think the Bills will be a little better than they were last year. E.J. Manuel's there. They got some nice pieces with Spiller. But their defense outside Mario Williams and Darius, I can't tell you who's on that defense. I anticipate the Bears scoring early. I expect the Bears to score often. I expect the Bears to win by 20+. So if you want one that you can bank, I take the Bears. Plus, if you're in a one-and-done situation, meaning you can only take one team, I looked at Chicago's schedule. I don't know another spot that you would use the Bears, especially when everybody's healthy. You got to remember, in week one, everybody's as healthy as they're going to be throughout the year. So Cutler will be standing for this one at least through the first couple quarters. So the Bears should roll.
And your nugget here in the article, by the way, we should have teased that you can read Jab's winning nuggets right now on BaltimoreSportsReport.com. But you got the Bills are 2-8 in their last 10 road games, so feeling pretty good about that one.
Additionally, yeah. Well, real quick though, the Bears also have an opening day all-time record because the Bears have been around forever. They're 54-35-5. Remember when there were ties? Well, they're 54-35-5. That's a 580 winning percentage. Kind of like our Orioles are right now. So that's something you want to look at also going forward. They win their opening games a lot.
So maybe you want to save the Steelers. Maybe you want to save the Bears. It's Survivor after all. Got to think a little bit long term. Who's your third pick?
Well, another spot where you might want to take a team because you're not sure you're going to see somebody this bad on your schedule. The Philadelphia Eagles are the biggest spread on the board, 10.5, 11, depending on where you look. They're hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. And for Jab historians out there, the Nuggets historians, all 4 of you, We used to talk about this last year. Bet against Jacksonville. Go against Jacksonville. Well, it worked for the first 8 games of the year. The end of the year, Jacksonville started to get it together. Played a little bit better defensively. I'm not saying that Philadelphia is going to lose this game by any stretch because they are coming off a great season under Chip Kelly. Offense is off the hook. Awesome, right? They're in Philly. But just kind of pump your brakes if you're just expecting to shove all your chips right in on the Philadelphia Eagles. I anticipate the Jags to be a little bit more competitive in this one. Chad Henne is the starter, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's just struggling. They really like their first-round pick, Blake Bortles, who could come in and help. Outside of a couple of guys on offense, they're really Cecil Shorts, things of that nature. Justin Blackmon out for the year. So you're looking at kind of like the Jags offensively, but defensively they're pretty good. You can go ahead and take Philadelphia if you feel really strong with it. I think most people would probably go in that direction. But just don't be surprised if Jacksonville keeps that game a little bit tighter than you want on Sunday.
All right, it's a new season. I'm optimistic about winning a little bit of cash. Let's look at the lines. Win me some cash. What do you feel most strongly about this week?
As you pointed out, and just brilliantly as we got into this, Zach, you said the first week. How are you supposed to really know about these teams? We have no data. Can't go to covers and look at defense against offense, things like that. But what I do know is home dogs are something that I like a lot. I love home dogs, especially, and I use this word especially very high, on opening day. Think about it. Your team's completely healthy. You got coming back with all the starters that you had last year that maybe you were out with. And the team that I'm looking at right now is the Atlanta Falcons. Everybody's on the Saints train, and don't get me wrong, they might be there in the end. But in week 1, who has more to prove to people that they're not a 2-win team, 3-win team, whatever they were last year, than the Falcons? Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Roddy White. They got Steven Jackson back for at least a week until he gets hurt again. But in the week 1 at home in the Georgia Dome, that should be rocking. I really like the Falcons. But now you're going to give me 3 points as well? Give me the 3 points. Give me the field goal. I'll take the Falcons plus the 3. And I wouldn't even mind money line them. You might get a great price around 135, which means your 100 will pay you 135 in return. And on this game, the home team, by the way, this is a good stat, 5-0 ATS in the last 5 meetings. So whoever is the home team in this series has usually won and covered the number.
And you've got, Falcons went 5-1 against the spread in their last 5 games last season.
They played well late.
It's a good one, too.
Yep.
Over-unders, you mentioned the fans. By the way, there's more than 3 fans of Jabs winning that. I want to point that out. But you mentioned the fans, and they love the over-unders.
Who doesn't?
Wheelhouse, so what's your over-under for the week?
And just to get it out there, I will pick some unders this year as well. I do play some unders myself. They're boring though, and you know what sells there? You know what sells, Zach? It's overs, and people love overs. And who doesn't love a nice Sunday night game, right?
Oh yeah.
Peyton Manning coming back. Wes Welker's doing Molly on the sidelines. You got Andrew Luck chucking the ball around to Hakeem Nicks and all kinds of guys. The number's posted at 55. That's 6 points higher than the highest total out there right now on the board. 6 points, which is almost a touchdown. And you think, well, gosh, that seems pretty high for week 1. Guys, teams are feeling each other out. No, not with these 2 teams. Luck can't run the ball because Trent Richards is a complete bust. So far, he's been a complete bust. But he can throw the ball downfield, which was evident in the playoff game last year against Kansas City. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks, and I think by the end of the year, he's going to end up in that elite status. Your Rodgers, your Brees, your Mannings, your Bradys, that kind of deal. Then Manning, I don't care if you lose Welker. Welker can be gone. He's been gone for a while, in my opinion, with the way he's been playing, with concussions and just kind of – he's not somebody that would scare me off the total. Demaryius Thomas or one of these guys went out. This game is going to be up and down. Perfect weather for football, mid-50s, in the city of Weed. I think it'll be a great time for everybody to get out there, check it out, enjoy it. And if you want to get it now. Because what happens is, as you're getting closer to the game time, people have lost a bunch of dough during the day. Now they're going to chase it. What do you chase it with? An over. You don't take an under to chase it, so you take an over. And so people are going to look to try to get their money back on that Sunday night game. So get that now because I anticipate that moving up. I've already seen it at 55.5 as of today. We're broadcast on Thursday.
All right, your last pick might surprise a few. Give me the pitch here. Okay,
so it goes back to home dogs. Dallas Cowboys. All I've heard this whole offseason, what have you heard? Terrible defense. Yeah. They brought in Michael Sams to play, the practice squad, which I think is irrelevant at this point. But their defense is abysmal. Was the worst last year. Didn't do anything. Lost their best linebacker, right? So who comes to town but the pounded out, right in your face, San Francisco 49ers? On paper, the Niners should win this game by 2025. But they don't play on paper, Zach. They play on the gridiron. And what I like about this, again, is everybody, all the money that I see going in on San Francisco leads me to believe, take the points, take Dallas. Give you an example. Last year, Dallas was at home against Denver. You remember that game? And everybody's like, oh, Denver's going to go there and roll them up. We had one of those of our selections. We liked Dallas, plus the points. We got 7. I think Romo threw another terrible interception at the end of the game. But the game came in. covered, and everybody's like, oh, I can't believe that happened. Well, it happens all the time, folks. Home dogs are amazing. They hit it like 60, 65%. I love it here. I anticipate with this one, as opposed to waiting for or hitting the over in the Denver game, hit this game about 4 o'clock, really close to game time, because, again, a lot of people, there's only 2 games in the afternoon on Sunday. So if you're looking for some action and see where the point's going to go, people are going to jump on those favorites, and people love San Francisco. So you might get Dallas up at 6, 6.5, maybe even 7, depending on how heavy the betting is that day.
Yeah, U.S. Open kind of messing with the late games there on CBS. So
that usually happens, and I think that happens when you have all the other games. But real quick on the Nuggets, the Cowboys, and again, they're going to be terrible. Don't get me wrong. We're not worried about how they win or lose or anything. What you're worried about the most, sorry about that, is what they do in their at home. And at home, they're 7-1 ATS against the spread. So you got to love them in week 1.
All right, before Manny goes absolutely insane, Baltimore Ravens angle. Ravens kicking things off. Big news today, of course, was Ray Lewis statue gets unveiled. Everybody's amped up, ready to go for week 1. Orioles are playing well. Ravens kicking off their season. Lot to look forward to. How do you feel? Give us your prediction, Jab, on how things are going to shake out for the Ravens.
Well, first of all, sorry for Manny. He gets a little fired up. He's got bad knees, so he's just trying to figure it out. He's doing some rehab here at the house. Here's the thing I feel in this game. I think first of all, the total I think is crazy, 43. This offense on both sides, I think are going to score. I think Ravens fans are going to really enjoy this Ravens offense as they start to learn about it. You're not going to have Joe Flacco sitting back in the pocket for 5 seconds, scanning the field looking for Pitta. He's going to get the ball out in 3 seconds. The ball's coming out quick. The zone runs are going to like a lot. When Ray Rice comes back, you got Pierce, and even if Forsett gets in the mix. So offensively, you're going to enjoy the new look Ravens offense. I'm not sure right off the bat that's going to happen, but they're going to get into the mid-20s in this game. The things that concern me in this one, Zach, the secondary for the Ravens. You're telling me that Shockey Brown's going to be matched up with whether it's A.J. Green, on the outside, or if they bring in the slot, you got a Marvin Jones, a Sanu, just these big physical wide receivers that Cincinnati has. And Andy Dalton, last time I checked, was 3rd. And I guess I understand it's fantasy, but he was 3rd in fantasy numbers last year. That means, yards, touchdowns, and interceptions. He was really good last year. So it's not like some bum that you saw in the playoffs against the Chargers. I also think that kind of makes me nervous, like I said, is the new offense, how they're going to get started. I anticipate that to be a little bit easier. And the last thing is, can Bernard Pierce stay healthy? Not for the season, for a game. The guy cannot stay healthy for a game sometimes, and he's also very, very bad in pass protection. That's something that Flacco hopefully won't have a problem with if they're able to get the ball out. With all this said, I like this high-scoring affair. I like both teams to get into the mid-20s even later. I actually see the Ravens winning this game 31-28 and maybe a Tucker late field goal, something along those lines. And the reason why I'm going with it, because I think these two teams are evenly matched and will battle for the AFC North title this year. I've got to give it to the home team, who hits around 78% of the time at home. Ravens fans will go nuts. The Ray Lewis statue, the non-Brian Billick statue, whatever you want to say, that's what's going to happen. Ravens 31-28, which is a cover because right now they're laying around 1.5.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Yeah, so they'd cover the line there. So 31-28.
This game on the number, I would be probably the most scared about. This is the one number these two teams are very, very evenly matched. Yeah. It should be a good matchup for everybody out there and a nice, beautiful day for football.
It's tough. Yeah, well, we talk a lot of football on Channel BSR, so you can check out some of those videos. Right now, we'll tell you whether the Ravens are going to finish with more than 8.5 wins, which is what Vegas has them at. Talk a little bit about Joe Flacco, too, so check out that on Channel BSR. And, of course, if you tuned in, some people tuning in and out to the live feed here, check out Jab's Winning Nuggets right now at BaltimoreSportsReport.com. Give it a read before you place your bets, before you make your survivor picks, before you just impress your friends by saying that the Ravens are going to win 31-28, whatever. At Jabby Burns on Twitter. Anything else we should plug, Jab?
Well, the only thing I will tell you, I'm giving a bonus selection for anybody out there looking to get off to the right start tonight. I like Green Bay and Seattle to go over the number of 46, the Thursday night game. So if you're watching this around live or you're getting into it before the game starts, peek in at that total. It's already jumped up about a 1.5.
Love it. There you go. He's Jabby Burns. I'm Zach Wilt. Thanks so much. That's what I was trying to say. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you guys next time.
Peace.